What is up, everyone? This will be my patch 14.22 jungle tier list, where we're going to go over everything you need to know on the new jungle patch. So this patch, we had a lot of buffs and nerfs for a lot of champions, but overall the jungle tier list didn't change that much. From the very top, we have the Espelus category. These are I am confident to say, the two best junglers on the patch by far. Graves jungle. Graves as Graves is the carry jungler who is the best right now in the jungle patch. Graves is insanely broken. As I was prioritizing how good he was in the patch before, we went over a lot of reasons why he's better. He's actually better now even more because of the Ghostblade interaction, or the buff to Ghostblade. You lose 5 AD, but you get 4% bonus movement speed, which is honestly a huge trade-off, which is worth it for Ghostblade. On top of the movement speed you already get out of combat, you get free 4% movement speed in combat and out, which is really good for a lot of melee or range champions that want to catch up and get on people. So this dramatically helps him. So he's a very broken jungler now with the build into collector, and he's for sure going to get nerfed. I mean, I would be lost in the sauce if he didn't get nerfed next patch. So I expect something good. I just think his build is just way too efficient. Like I said, if Ghostblade is ever good on him, with the collector second, it built so well into the build path that Graves is just a problem champion that you really can't be doing much about. So Graves, I think, is the best. Skarner, absolutely despise this champion, but he is one of the best junglers right now because of the buffs they've previously done to him. New champion, new rework, looking really broken as usual. He's really too tanky. Breaks a lot of rules in the game by being able to kind of just eat through walls into ganks, which is really hard to play against. His ulti suppression is really good in team fights, and with all the damage nerfs to items, he is just too tanky to kill. And he also does too much damage with Heartsteel, so they would have to tone down. He's an easy target to nerf. All you have to do is pretty much nerf a bit of his damage on his Q, which he lives and dies by. All his damage comes from that one ability, so I imagine he will get nerfed in the future. I don't like playing him, so I don't recommend him. He's kind of weird, so you're gonna have to one-trick him a bit. But yeah, let's move on to the S category. So S category, I would say, are just really on the top tier of the builds of the top tier junglers on the patch. So I would say they are just by far, it's just solid jungler picks if you can pick them into pretty much anything. Kha'Zix, yes, I've been flaming assassins all the time, but Kha'Zix is the only assassin that really is broken right now compared to other ones. He is so good, especially with the Ghostblade buffs. Ghostblade into Opportunity is the build. Riot has been buffing assassins, and they've been building or buffing certain items to make it so they're more playable. Ghostblade into Opportunity is just really solid. I don't think he's as good with the higher you go, but he's just performing really well low ranking. So I think Kha'Zix is just really good right now. Viego also, I think, is just a very solid jungler. He does a lot of things well. He's hard to kill. He's very strong. He's very, he's very snowbally. He's very solid in all regards. His build path, with Triforce is just really good. Kraken Slayer, Triforce, whatever you want to build, he's got what it takes to snowball and win games. Next, we have Nocturne. I personally think Nocturne is extremely broken if played correctly. And I think he's just a solid low rank to high rank pick. Very strong lethal tempo, conquer, whatever you like. Make sure you build, into like a more bruiser build with Stridebreaker into cleaver, collector, whatever you like. And yeah, he's just a really solid pick. He's definitely one of the highlights, I would say, in the current patches. A very solid champion. Xin Zhao has been, rising in some popularity, in my opinion. I think he's just a solid jungler. He's a good jungler and a very solid pick right now in the meta. The bruisers are starting to rise up as they're dealing more damage, but also being a bit more tankier. They're good into a lot of comps, which is really important in this jungle meta, where it's really about how do you fit into the comp. Lee Sin, another example, he's just very tanky, even though his win rate is, even though he's a hard difficulty champion, on average, he's easy to win on if you perform at a medium, which is easy because the medium has been lowered so much with how strong he is. So Lee Sin is performing very high. His 51% win rate with such a high pick rate, I just couldn't ignore the fact that he's very broken right now. As is the trend, a lot of junglers are doing really well with just how bruisers are just really happy because, well, a lot of Liandry junglers got nerfed. A big ones I just want to highlight is actually Udyr and Lilia. As you can see, they've dropped dramatically on the tier list, and direct nerfs to them because they're overperforming was a big highlight of that regard. So a good thing for a lot of bruiser junglers, a good thing for Graves as well, right? So that changes a lot because they were very good into a lot of these bruiser slash AD junglers. Talking about Lee Sin, very good. Zac next, also the tank AP jungler that hasn't really been touched, even though I would say he falls into the category of more of these sort of like AP, tanky, maybe bruiserish junglers that are AP. He hasn't really been touched, so I think he's a great performer that is going to be in a very solid position. Next, we have A tier. So A tier are just good picks that I think can be strong, really strong in some games, can be on the more average side if you think a new champion that's just been a Abessa. Yeah, you're probably like, Inori, what are you doing? Why are you putting her in? Listen, I'm not going to say I'm judging her completely off the 2 solo queue games I played of her, but I am going to say I think she's really broken if you know how to play her. Also, just think infinite mobility as a jungler is just really good. Her clear isn't the fastest. Her cooldown's really long early, but her 6... Personally, I think her 6 is so broken. One of the strongest level 6s in the game by far. Once you hit your R on some target, they are gone. Her ability to be an assassin while also being a bruiser, I think she scales insane, which is really good in solo queue. Her early game is weak, I will say, but her scaling is infinite with how broken she can be. I think if you learn her, it's really good. Even though her win rates are really bad. Her win rates are bad in top lane. Her win rates are bad in jungle. That's just how it is when a champion is released. No champion is going to have incredible win rates when they're released. It's what happens after a week is when you see people start to learn the champion more, is when the win rates really define how a champion is. Judging by her and how she's a very high mechanical champion, I think her win rate's going to be low until the weekend. Until the week we go through, then we're going to see her, which I think she's a strong champion. So she'll be in the 50% win rate range. So I think she's a good champion to pick up if you want to enjoy that. Just be very, think about her kind of like Kalista, where you have to kind of buffer her movement between spell casts, the same way she buffers with autos. Moving on, we have Talon. Talon Jungle, I've made a video for him. I think he's really strong. I think he's really good. Ghostblade build is really OP right now. I think the Ghostblade is super nice on him. If he wasn't so hard to play, I think his win rate, he would be an S+ jungler, but he's just really good right now. Farm your jungle, gank when you're done farming. Beautiful strategy, works every time. Enjoy, have fun with that one. Diana jungle, Diana will be on the rise. Diana is on the rise because, well, we talked about the other AP options have been getting nerfed, which is good because I prefer Diana over a Lilia, over an Udyr. So that's really good for us, and I think Diana is in a really beautiful position to really highlight her success. And you know, builds, you can always go Nashers into like an AP Lichbane build. It's up to you to decide, but a very fun champion. Karthus, very broken, disgusting champion. I hate playing against Karthus. I hate losing against Karthus, but he's a solid champion, infinitely scaling. Just farm your jungler ape. Just literally, if you can farm AFK farm as Karthus, you're going to be winning the game, which is a disgusting thing, and I hope Riot nerfs it. Jarvan is decent. He's the solid jungler. If I think about a jungler just really fits into a lot of comps, it would be Jarvan. But in solo queue, there are counters to him in a way, because some hyper mobility champions do kind of hurt him. Also, AP champions are really good into him. If they can just outfarm him, they will outscale him. But overall, I think it's a really solid champion, and I'm happy to see Jarvan in the meta. Udyr, discussing. Udyr got nerfed. Not enough personally. I would rather see Udyr in the C category, but the nerfs weren't enough to put him down that far. He's still good, unfortunately, but I hope for future nerfs to really put him in the gutter so I never have to see an Udyr again. Elise, very beautiful. Spider Queen, I love her. We all love her. She's good. They did nerf some items, magic pen boots, a lot of things she used, but she's still very good. Even though she's a higher difficulty champion, she's still performing really well with a high win rate. I say she's a very solid champion. If you a solid AP jungler, if you want to play something aggressive early game and snowbally, something that will die, play for objectives, really snowball the early game, Elise is the pick for you. Kayn, we made a Red Kayn jungle video, and I think Red Kayn is actually really broken. It's really hard to gauge how good Kayn is because of, you know, the blue. I think blue Kayn might be tanking his win rate a bit, but Red Kayn with, you know, Eclipse build is really strong right now into melee. So I think Kayn is just in a really good spot for jungle. Master Yi, he's okay. If you like Master Yi playstyle, you can AFK farm, make a lot of things happen. That can be really good for you. Fiddle is just a really solid AP jungler. Didn't rely heavily on Leandries like other junglers. Sork Boots does affect him. The nerf did affect him slightly, but he's still very good. Hecarim is in a very nice position. Some of the items like Spirit Sojourn, Eclipse are really nice on him, so he's happy with itemization, and also with AP junglers getting nerfed. Hecarim is always going to be happy about that. Warwick actually got huge changes, so many different things, but in the end, he's just slightly better than he was before. Some quality of life things like his E cooldown, being able to kind of like do something after you press E, has been lowered, which is a good thing. Also, his ulti, you're not going to be hitting people behind you as much, so you're going to be hitting people more just indirectly in front of you. There were a bunch of W changes, which honestly, I can't, so much writing, I just didn't really want to kind of put it on here, but overall, it's going to be better experience for Warwick players if you're newer, and also if you've been playing it for a while. So Warwick is definitely a highlight of the patch as well. Next, we're going to have B category. So B overall is just really, you know, they're just not cutting in some parts. They're just weak in areas that you think they should be strong. But overall, they're just going to still win you games if you're good enough on them. So if we have Kindred, for example, honestly, Kindred is just in a bit of a weird situation. A lot of the items she was abusing got nerfed. She has received nerfs in the past. But overall, I just think she's too squishy and she takes too long to kill people in this meta, where it's now about more of the longer fight. And in longer fights for Kindred, she's just more easily caught out and she's way too squishy. So I think Kindred is just not really a good pick. Wukong jungle got buffed a bit. So I think Wukong is starting to look real juicy for you guys. You monkeys out there, I see you. I see you. I think Wukong jungle is looking real good. Triforce really nice on him right now. You can definitely pull him off. I think Wukong is on the rise. Even though I put him in B tier, he honestly is an A tier jungler right now. And yeah, no, I think he's really, really good. Vi jungle. Vi also got buffed recently. Even though the buffs weren't huge, I actually think they're quite nice with Vi on the rise as well. Triforce, Cleaver build, really good on her. So I think if you like her, you're going to be performing really well. Volibear, we talked about, he got nerfed to patch before because of people abusing the build I showed you. Honestly, they nerfed him because of top lane. So disgusting top laners get a beautiful jungler nerfed again. Terrible thing to see. But we just have to move on from there. Belveth, really don't care about her. I hate how she is. I hate playing her. I think she's such a weird champion. She is okay, but honestly, her items also got nerfed a lot, so she doesn't really have the best build. She relied a lot more on the items being very broken, so she's in a weird position. Briar, forgettable, unfortunately, because of all the nerfs they had received on her. She got a buff recently with like 40 HP, level 1, doesn't exactly do anything. Might as well have not buffed her. I would rather have saw some sort of early game buffs to her healing or something to give her better damage early game, because her damage is nil unless she builds Blade the Rune King, which definitely got nerfed because Briar doesn't really care about Briar. So unfortunately, no Briar being broken on this patch. Amumu, just solid jungler overall. If you like him, you'll play him, you'll win. Shaco, disgusting clown champion. Shaco is just the madness in the game, the problem child of the world, but he is a solid champion. He can go AD or AP, whatever you fancy, you can make it happen. But overall, he's a one-trick jungler, so unless you're already playing him, you're really not going to perform very well on him. Echo as well is very heavily a one-trick jungler, but more for the AP side, similar to Shaco, but he is going to be abusing a lot of the magic pen items. Nilly has been on the rise. I can't really say why, but I imagine because some of her harder matchups have been getting nerfed, and also AP junglers that were outscaling her got nerfed, which is really good because she's kind of useless into tanks if you think about it. So a lot of the tanks that were really good into her were nerfed, so that helps her dramatically. Teemo jungle is actually looking pretty strong. I've been tracking it a bit, and it's looking really good after the visual update. It's looking like Teemo might be on the rise for junglers. Rek'sai, poor Rek'sai forgot him because she was just too beautiful for the world to see. Locked into Pandora's box for us to never see again. Locked into Freak Spaceman. Trapped beneath the lair. Hopefully they do something with her ulti. Listen, I'm going to just pitch it again. Change her ultimate. Please give her something. Give her some love. Make her ultimate the same as the cinematic. Make her burrow under the ground and launch up beneath everyone and knock them up. That's just perfect. Listen to me, please, and you're going to have a beautiful queen indeed. Next, we have C category. So C category stuff I don't think are really terrible as much as you would think. But yeah, overall, Rengar, even though I think lethality Rengar sucks, but I've been cooking up a Bruiser Rengar build, and I'm going to have a video for you soon because I actually think Rengar has potential. I do think lethality sucks because you can't really rely on one-shotting people anymore unless you can do it really well. And Rengar, yes, he can do it really well, but also it's not feasible to escape after, right? He's just dead after that. And that's not something you want to carry games. So you want someone who's really good into more beefy comps. Rengar is not good into tanks if you're building him like an assassin. So Bruiser Rengar, I'm going to show you guys a build that can actually bump your win rate by up to 2% on Rengar. Next we have Silas. If his clear was a bit better, he would be A tier, but I also think he's a really situational pick. If you pick him against a jungler like Hecarim, enemy team has like a Mumu, I think he's A tier, even S tier in that regard, but right, because he's overall situational, it's hard to really give him an average rating so high, but overall I think he's good in some situations. I hope they buff his clear a bit, and then we're going to be talking some serious business. Talia, just an okay AP jungler. If you like her, you'll generally like her. Ivern, disgusting. We're going to move on from that guy. Disgusting. Jax, we have Jax. Unfortunately, he got nerfed because of top lane Jax. Overall, he hasn't really had some good success since Divine Sunder has been removed from the game. He relied heavily on that. With Lethal Temple coming back, there is a surge on his win rate being high with Triforce build. We'll have to experiment more with that and see how that goes. Lilia, we touched on her, nerfed because she got nerfed because of the whole thing. She's bad now. Don't play her. Neferi jungle, my little doggy. I love him, but he's not too solid because of all the nerfs to items. Gragas, alcoholic, forgot he was even in the game, to be honest. So we're going to move on from that one. Shyvana, dragon nerf, AP dragon nerf. No identity anymore. Can't one-shot with AP. Can't really be a bruiser. Weird situation. I wonder if they're just waiting for the rework before they do something. But she will be incredible after they give her that full visual rework update. I'm excited for that for sure. Darius I actually think is really good, but honestly I don't know how good people are at Darius, so I couldn't really give him that much of a rating, but he's a really fun jungler to play. Gwen and Evelyn are just really suffering in bottom tier. I really haven't seen Evelyn at all in forever. I thought she was literally camouflaged for the entire year because I have not seen an Evelyn in my game, which just showcases she's not doing really well. D tier is just really diabolical to pick for your own team. It's really nasty. It's really dirty. Don't pick it. Honestly, I don't know why I put Nunu there. I actually think Nunu is not that bad. Let's put Nunu in B tier. Actually, we'll adjust that. Nunu, let's say he snowballs. Nunu will snowball his way all the way into B tier, and he'll gank Kindred. All right. So Nunu will definitely be in B tier, but yeah, everyone else, don't pick them. They're not that good. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good time with your patch. I'm going to be streaming again in the future soon. I've been getting back into League and I've been enjoying it more and more with each patch, all the changes. So good luck on the games. Good luck on the climb. I'll see you guys in the next one.